Out front tonight, the breaking news. President Trump returning to Trump Tower tonight as he faces what could be his worst political crisis. To date, allegations that he withheld military aid to Ukraine in exchange for dirt on Joe Biden. Now, Trump says he had the right to do it, but he says he didn't.
I did not make a statement that you have to do this or I'm not going to give you aid. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Well, okay, first of all, that's not necessarily true. And by the way, you don't need to say that directly to make a clear and obvious threat. And of course, Trump not only told the Ukrainian president 8 times to investigate Joe Biden, but he then did hold up the crucial military package to Ukraine until congressional committees began investigating his actions earlier this month. And now Trump's own lawyer isn't even backing up the president's claim that he did not threaten to cut off the aid.
Did the president threaten to cut off aid to the Ukraine?
No, that was a false story.
100%.
Well, I can't tell you if it's 100%.
Okay, so he can't tell you with 100%. Look, there's one way to find out what was said during that phone call. And by the way, any other conversations that the president, Rudy Giuliani, had. It was a call that was said to be, so urgent and concerning. According to Joe Biden, he says, release the transcript. Now, simple enough. It is something that the president says he wants to do, put out the transcript.
I hope you're going to be able to see a call. When you see the call, if you see it, I hope you see it. I hope you get to see the call. It was a very nice call. I hope you get to see it. And I hope you get to see it soon.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of hope, right? But it doesn't sound like he really means it because he hasn't done it. And in fact, it sounds like he doesn't plan to do it. Here he is, his own words.
Sir, you can authorize the release of the transcript. Will you do that,
I can do it very easily, but I'd rather not do it from the standpoint of all of the other conversations I have.
All right, that is Trump's playbook here, right? It's his MO. He says he wants to do something like sit down for a face-to-face interview with Bob Mueller or put something out there like his taxes, but he just can't because his hands are tied.
I would love to give the tax returns, but I can't do it until I'm finished with the audit.
Well, obviously, we know that statement wasn't true. I mean, look, Trump never wanted to talk to Mueller. He never wanted to release his taxes. And we could be seeing this play out all over again right now.
So President Trump now says that he did talk to the Ukrainian president about former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter over the summer. The president's story has shifted. Listen to this.
The conversation I had was largely congratulatory, was largely the fact that we don't want our people, like Vice President Biden and his son, creating to the corruption already in the Ukraine.
Biden says this is a clear case of abuse of power. He's calling on Congress to investigate. To be clear, there is no evidence of wrongdoing by Joe Biden or his son Hunter. If it does turn out that the president indeed withheld aid to Ukraine for any amount of time because he wanted Ukraine to begin an investigation into Biden and his son Hunter, what should the reaction of Congress be to that?
Well, I think it'll be a pretty dramatic reaction. I think it's already happening now just on speculation of what may have been said. But I think we need to get to the bottom of it. I think we need to get a full report from this whistleblower. And as of right now, they're not in compliance with federal law. You got to remember that rule was created to promote for exactly what the purpose that's occurring now, for whistleblowers to feel comfortable to call out in discrepancies such as this. They have. The Inspector General classified it as urgent and credible. He had 14 days to investigate it under the rules, under federal law. Then they give it to the Director of Intelligence. He has a week to turn it over to the Intelligence Committee, and he has not.
Right. I mean, it's exceeded that, and that law is just explicitly laid out. So let me ask you this, because you have also been clear, sir, at least up until now, that you are not supportive of impeachment against the president. You said just in June, quote, the best way to impeach Trump is to defeat him in 2020. But if the Wall Street Journal reporting bears out, and we have no reason to believe that it won't, that the president, 8 times demanded this investigation by Ukraine, and if there was any quid pro quo for U.S. aid to Ukraine, do you then support impeachment of the president?
I don't think we have a choice under the Constitution. We must move forward with impeachment proceedings. I don't think we'll have much of a choice. It seems like the president is really pushing us for impeachment proceedings. I don't know if he's baiting us because he has some personal agenda that he thinks this might be helpful to him, but I don't have any idea why they wouldn't comply with federal law. Clearly, the Inspector General says, I'm not going to jail for you. He informed the committee that, in fact, this investigation was ongoing, that he thought it was credible and urgent, and he clearly wanted the committee to have notice of it. That's how Chairman Schiff found out about this in the first place.
That's a significant change for you, your position. You've been incredibly cautious on this
I think
until now.
Yes, I think it should be a significant change for Republicans, for every patriot in America, any thought that you would have the leader of your country negotiating with foreign leaders for his personal political benefit, I think is a huge issue that everyone in the country should be concerned with.
And we saw what Mitt Romney tweeted over the weekend.
That's right.
But there are not
Senator
many
Toomey.
Republicans speaking out on this.
Nightmare, stressed. Not what we wanted really before going home. So, but what can you do? Other people have lost their jobs, so we're not as bad as some other people.
Despite huge efforts over a number of months and further intense negotiations in recent days, we have not been able to secure a deal to save our business.
We're absolutely gutted. We've looked forward to this for a long time, had the wedding in July, so it's been another couple of months waiting for this.
I took the decision that, look, people need to be back for work, for their families, all sorts of reasons. We can't just leave, Brits stranded abroad. We need to bring people home.
This is not entirely a surprise, though, because back in May, it reported a loss of some $2 billion, and that was a record. They were looking for a bailout of at least $300 million, but the government said that was more likely to be $1 billion going forward. If you think about it, it's almost like a perfect storm because it was intense competition. They're trying to change their business model in that process, and then had the uncertainty around Brexit hitting them at the same time.